Hey everybody, welcome back here. We're here in the Lincoln County Falcons locker room. I'm Brian Neese along with Chad Tips, the head coach of the Lincoln County Falcons. And basketball season's right around the corner, Coach Tips, and the season just a few days away now, and you guys are already getting started.
Yeah, it is. We've had we're after day 2 right now as we're currently talking. We just had the second day of practice, and so far it's going well. But second day of practice, it ought to go well. Everybody's excited and playing hard, and the trick is trying to continue that throughout the season.
The season opens up November 11th, so 2 weeks from today, and I know you guys will be ready to go when that comes around.
Yeah, it is. We play Summit here at home, and like I said, like you said, on November the 11th, and follow that up with Bob Jones on the 15th, and of course got several more games after that, but we hope to start that first week off pretty well.
We're going to run down the roster here and talk about the players on this year's team. And
number 2 is Trevor Jean. He's a senior. He can really shoot the basketball, play quite a bit for us. I think he's going to probably play a whole lot and hopefully play pretty well for us. Number 3 is probably our most experienced returner, Xavier Tallyhide. He's a senior point guard. He started basically every game of his career so far. There's a few games his sophomore year he didn't quite start, but he played a lot in. So we're looking for him to be a steadying influence and use his experience on the floor. He's a really good ball handler, has a chance to have a big year. Number 4 is Noah Sapak. He's a newcomer. He's a sophomore. Played quite a bit last year at NGA as a freshman. He does a really good job. Very good practice player. Looking for big things in games. I think he'll be able to play some important minutes for us. He's done a really good job so far. Number 5 is Ryan Hall. He is out on the football field currently, but he played quite a bit last year as a junior. Last year as a sophomore. He'll be a junior this year. Kind of plays the post area. Plays really hard. Really good defender. Number 10 is Austin Bennett. He's also a junior, and he's just been cleared to play. A lot of you guys, football fans, know that he dislocated his hip about 3 or 4 weeks ago at Columbia in football. But he's ready to roll and ready to play for us, and he's pretty athletic, so I think he's going to help us. We've got a newcomer, a new kid to the school system. Seth Bertarelli is number 11. He's about a 6'5" sophomore, moved from Port St. Lucie, Florida. Port St. Lucie, Florida. But he's 6'5", pretty athletic, can shoot a little bit. He'll play inside and outside, but probably mostly this year, because he is one of our bigger guys, he'll play around the basket quite a bit, but he'll probably play quite a bit. Number 12, Eli Slayton, is a junior. Played a little bit last year as a sophomore and had a pretty good year as a young guy. We're looking for big things from him. He's worked really hard this summer and done a good job. Number 13 is Alex Susinski. Still trying to learn how to say his name exactly, but he's the only Alex on the team, so I pretty much just stick with that, Alex. He's about 6'4". He's a sophomore. He's a lot like Seth in that he can also do some stuff out on the perimeter, outside the three-point line. Can make a few shots out there, but he also plays well around the basket. He had a good year last year at NGA, and I think he'll have a good year for us this year as a sophomore. Then another sophomore, Zacchaeus Tate, is probably he is our quickest and probably our most athletic player. He plays guard, played point guard last year at NGA, probably played the point guard and the wing for us a little bit. He's very athletic, very good defender. And then we have Taylor Glegern. He's a freshman. He's about 6'1", and probably want to talk about this a little bit later, but I'll go ahead and mention it, is that this year we're incorporating our freshmen into our program, and that's just going to be a huge bonus for everyone to let those guys come up and practice. And if they practice well enough, of course, they'll have every opportunity to get in the game just like the older kids. So everybody in our program, freshmen through seniors, are all on the same level as far as the opportunity to earn playing time, the opportunity to practice, and all that kind of thing. So, but anyway, back to the list here. Taylor is a freshman. He's about 6'1". He plays the wing, and he's done a good job so far for us this summer and this fall. And then another freshman is Ruslan Gaines. He played at South Lincoln last year. He's about 6 foot, 6'1". He plays around the basket. He kind of plays the power forward a little bit. He's done a nice job for us. And then yet another freshman, Cyrus Blackwell, is 6'1", and he's more of a center, true center. He played at Highland Rim, and I think he'll be pretty good for us. Austin Grimes, to get back to some of the older guys, Austin Grimes is number 22. He's a senior. He played a lot for us last year. He's probably the second most experienced kid we have. Played some as a sophomore, then played a ton last year as a junior, and he's had a pretty good off season. He will actually this year probably get to post up a little bit. Last year he played mostly on the perimeter, and if we get a mismatch for him, because he's pretty strong, pretty athletic type kid, so I think he'll be able to post up maybe a little bit and score. So he'll probably play a little bit inside and out. Kyle Clem is a freshman, played at Highland Rim last year. Really good ball handler for especially for his age. I think that he'll come on and hopefully play some minutes for us in the varsity maybe a little bit. As all these guys, all the young guys, maybe will get in there a little bit. Kyle's got the ball handling ability to do that. He just got to learn the speed of the game and all that kind of thing. Then we have Abram Osgood. who is a 6'1" wing. He's also a freshman, and he came from Halloran last year, and he's done a nice job. All those young guys, they do a really, really good job of listening and learning, and they understand, they're going to be behind some of the older guys as far as experience and all that, but they do a nice job of trying to fit right in and do everything they're expected to do, and if they do that every day, they're going to continue to get better. And then Keller Monks is also a senior. One of our 5 seniors. He's about 6 foot, 6'1". Right now he's recovering from a shoulder injury, so he won't be able to practice for 3 or 4 more weeks, so he'll probably get a late start as far as playing in some games. But he did a nice job for us last year as a junior, and we're looking for him to continue that this year. And then our last senior is Fred Boyd. He played a lot for us last year. Didn't play a whole lot as a sophomore, but he's a little bit undersized, but he'll play around the basket. He plays extremely hard. You'll have a hard time finding anybody on the floor on either team that plays as hard as Fred does, and he does a really, really good job for us. And then we have Tyler Boyette, who is also who's he's our last freshman I'm going to mention. He's from the Flintville area. He played for them last year. He played a little bit of post for them last year, but he'll play some wing for us because he's a little bit undersized, and we're going to see if we can move him out and get him outside the basket or outside the paint and see if he can face the basket a little bit. And then our last guy that I'll mention is number 50, Colton Wicks. A lot of people probably know him from kicking the football pretty well for the Falcons this year. He plays post and did a nice job last year for NGA in the post, and I think he'll do a good job this year for us, and he had a pretty good summer. Of course, it's been a while since I've seen him because he's still in football, but that's our squad, and I think we'll be bigger. I know we're bigger. That's pretty easy to measure. We're bigger than we were last year. We look a lot more athletic, and we've got more experience. Now, how that translates to wins and losses kind of depends on our schedule and how good the teams we're playing are. But all the guys have done a good job, and I think we're ready to play, and they're excited about it. And we've had, like I said earlier, 2 good days of practice.
Talk about the district a little bit coming in. What are the other teams returning this year?
Well, Shelbyville and Columbia are by a decent margin the most athletic teams in our district. So they're always a challenge because they're so athletic, and this year is no different. Columbia may be more athletic than they've been in the last few years, and Shelbyville is more athletic than they've been in the last couple of years. And Shelbyville struggled a little bit last year because they were young, but now they're getting older and older. They're mostly juniors and seniors, so they look really good this summer. And then Lawrence County, of course, you never can count them out because they're not going to impress you in warm-ups or when you go watch them play somebody else because they're not extremely big. They do have a 6'7" kid this year, but outside of him, they're not very big. But they can shoot the basketball. They know how to play, and they just they come into the high school knowing how to play. Their middle school coaches or parents or someone does a really good job. And then Coach Clark is one of the best coaches in our district, and they don't slow down when they get to him. They continue to progress, and they do a good job. And then Franklin County, you can't really count them out. Their head coach has been in the district championship game the last 2 years. Once with Tullahoma, the last 3 years. Once with Tullahoma, and twice with Franklin County. So they're going to be pretty good. They lost quite a few players, but we saw them this summer. We actually played them a little bit this summer, and they did a really good job. Tullahoma was a little bit like us last year. They struggled quite a bit, but they returned all those guys. So that's probably a political answer. I didn't really give you one set team, but they're all going to be pretty good, and the most 2 athletic teams are Shelbyville and Columbia.
Every good head coach has a great assistant on the bench, and you've got one as well.
I do. Thank you for mentioning him. Matt Prince does a great job. He played here several years ago now. He wouldn't want me to say it like that, but it's been a while. He's getting a little bit old, but he was a senior here my first year, and he does a really, really good job. Those guys in the off season, he does a good job developing them a workout to do, and he's really good at individual work, and he does that during the season for us. And he really does anything, but he specializes. If there's a niche to describe him, he's great at individual workouts, and he does a really good job of that. And of course, he has great camaraderie with our kids, and they respect him, look up to him, and he does a nice job.
Big gym out there. When it gets full, it's a tough place to come play. So I know you encourage everybody to come out here and watch these kids.
I do. The gym was packed, and a lot of the people my age or older remember when that gym was packed a whole lot. And we've had a few games here that the past few years, especially prior to last year, where the gym started getting pretty full. And there's no better sport to play, in my opinion, than basketball when the crowd's in the stands, because it's a very intense game. It's an emotional game, and it's a momentum-filled game, and the crowd has a lot to do with that. And the crowd can really affect the opponent. So when we go on the road, we have to face that sometimes, especially places like Lawrence County and Columbia. And we want the opponent when they come in here to have to face the same thing. It's not just our 5-on-5; it's their 5 versus our 5 and our crowd. So we'd encourage you, and we're going to be fun to watch. We're going to play hard. Like I said earlier, we've got good kids, and I think it should be a fun. If we continue to do what we're doing in practice, it should be a fun a product to watch on the floor, because we're going to try to push the ball and play fast. And we've got enough athletic kids that we're going to trap it a little bit and press some. So I think it'll be fun to watch for everybody.
All right, that's Chad Tips, the head coach of the Lincoln County Falcons. Remember, the first game's November 11th here against Summit High School, so make your plans to be with us. Back here in the locker room with Coach Hart and the Lady Falcons. And Coach Hart, we talked with Coach Tips. Basketball is just right around the corner, and you were out practicing earlier today. Things are getting hot in here.
Yes, it's pretty warm in here, Brian. It is very much.
Well, talk about your team a little bit. I know you got a lot of fresh faces, but you got a lot of girls returning as well.
Yes, it's quite a bit of kids. I've got 7 freshmen, 7 sophomores, 7 juniors, and 1 senior. And Morgan Higgins is our only senior.
Go through your roster a little bit and tell us about some of these players.
Okay, Allie Sandlin is a 5'4" freshman. Allie's a really good shooter, works hard, just comes to practice every day to get better. And that's most of these kids are that way. And when we have all 22 of them here and working hard, it's going to make our program a lot better by having them over here and working against older kids and just getting better every day. So Allie Sandlin is the 5'4" freshman. Bethany Lehman is 5'9" junior. Bethany started for us last year, is one of our team captains this year, and has a chance just to be an outstanding player. She's a great defender, has really increased her offensive skills this year, got a great jump shot, putting the ball on the floor, attacking the basket. So I'm looking for a really big year from her. Brianna Flynn is a 5'9" sophomore. She's a very athletic post player for us. She could really help us if she just keeps learning how to practice at this level of play and things. But if she can get that, she can be a big part of our program. Brianna Faulkner is a 5'9" freshman. She's going to be a really good player. She works really hard. She can play inside, outside. She can shoot the 3. She's got a chance of being a really nice player for us this year and down the road. Brianna Sanders is a 5'8" junior, and she's one of the most improved players on the team. She's always been a really good shooter, but she's really gotten stronger over the last year. Her defense and rebounding both have gotten a lot better. All of the juniors, that year's of growth between the sophomore and junior year is really big for them, and so she's really shooting the ball well, but worked really hard in the weight room in the off season too, and got a lot stronger. Brooke Ferguson is a 5'6" sophomore, and Brooke can play the wing or the point guard for us and stuff. And she has a lot of ability. She just got to learn again. The sophomores with them, a lot of them is learning to work at this level, and it's one of the reasons that having a freshman up here is we get a year's head start on that. They learn it this year, so they don't have that learning curve as a sophomore. So, but Brooke's going to be very good for us. Carly Fee is a 5'8" sophomore, and Carly's also one of the star soccer players here for the Lincoln County, but she's a very good basketball player too. And as she gets more and more acclimated to the high school program and things, she's going to be a big help and things too for us. But doing really well in practice. Chelsea Gatlin is a 5'5" junior. And Chelsea's one of the better defenders on our team. Very quick, got really quick feet. Her offense has gotten a lot better, shooting the ball well, and doing a really good job. She's really in the last month, 6 weeks, has really stepped the level of commitment up and just doing a great job for us. Cheyenne Counts is a 5'4" sophomore. Cheyenne's doing a good job. She's coming to working hard and practice every day. She's a good shooter. We have probably one of the best shooting teams that I've had. I think we're going to if everything continues. But Cheyenne's learning the offense, and like I said, with the sophomore, she's learning how to practice hard and but doing a really good job. Darian Norman is a 5'8" junior, and another soccer player. Darian's really strong, and she can shoot the three. One of the offenses that we've put in is a 5-out offense that'll take advantage a little bit of her ability to play on the perimeter and inside also. So I'm looking for big things from Darian. Emily Ogle is a 5'6" freshman, and she's doing really, really good. She's a point guard and wing player. She'd always played wing, but I've moved her to point, and she'll probably see some action up on the varsity at in some capacity and things. But and she'll probably play on the JV some too. But she's doing it. She comes to practice every day with a smile on her face and works really, really hard. Hannah Brazier, 5'6" freshman, and Hannah plays point guard also and the wing. She's kind of been out a little bit, been injured, but she's come back and doing really, really well. These kids did really good in the off-season program for us. They lifted, and when I'm talking about one of them, I'm talking about all of them. That they've lifted really well. They've run really well. They've got themselves in shape. So I'm very proud of them. Kate Porter is a 5'9" sophomore, and Kate's one of the sophomores that's probably acclimated herself probably better to the high school level, both mentally and physically. She probably knows more about basketball than me or Coach Tips, either one and stuff. Of course, that's not saying much. It's not on Tips' side and things. But Kate's a very cerebral player. She knows the game really well. But she's worked really. She's one of our stronger players. Worked really hard in the weight room and has done really well. She'll play facing the basket, but she can post up some too. But she's doing really good. Lauren Bradley, 6'1" sophomore, and another soccer player that she's got a chance. If she can stay with it, she hadn't played basketball a long period of time, but she's tough. She can run the floor. She's got a chance of helping us down the road if she'll stay in there and keep working and having a really good attitude, which she does, and things, because the 6'1", you can't teach that and things. She's got long arms, and she could be a really good defender for us. Lily Foster, 5'7" junior. Lily is a wing player, plays a 2 or 3. Really good defender. Got long arms, gets out, gets a lot of deflection, real quick. Pretty good three-point shooter, can put the ball on the floor. She'll be in our rotation and most of these juniors and the seniors and stuff will be in the rotation, along with a few sophomores and a couple freshmen. Macy Corder, 5'4" sophomore. Macy's doing good. She's had some injury problems and things too, but she's working hard. And I guess I keep repeating that, but this is the hardest working group. They get along really well. They're a joy to coach because you don't have to coach effort with them. They're there every day and they come to work. McKinley Fitch, 5'6" junior. She'll be our point guard, and she's doing a great job. And everybody knows that we lost Courtney, but we're not replacing Courtney. McKinley's our own person. She's a great defender. Her court vision's really gotten better. Kind of threw her to the wolves this summer during summer ball, playing Blackman and Riverdale and Oakland, everybody that we could play, but she didn't back down from it. She got better, and she had a really good summer. She's had a great fall so far. Morgan Higgins, our 6-foot senior. She's the only senior we have. She's one of our captains, and McKinley Fitch is one of our captains too. Her and Bethany and Morgan are all captains, and Morgan's kind of the engine that makes us go and stuff. We're going to face her to the basket a lot more this year, but then she's also very good at with her back to the basket. She's a great teammate, very smart player, but a great leader in the locker room, on the floor, off the floor. So we're very fortunate to have her and things, and it's just she's a joy to coach. Reagan Donovan is a 5'4" freshman. She played a little point guard, mostly wing. She's a little wiry thing, but strong. She can do some things in the weight room. You look at her and go, where in the world is that coming from, and stuff. But she's doing really good. I think several of these players played for Mel out at South Lincoln and have come in and really done well and stuff. So I'm excited about her. Samantha Williams is a 5'10" junior. She's one of our post players, and she's right now she's injured, coming off a meniscus tear, and she'll be out till probably sometime after Christmas. She's still on crutches right now, but going to therapy a couple times a week. And when she gets healthy, that's gonna it's gonna give us a big boost when she comes back, because she's so good in the middle of the floor. Shayla Castillo is a 5'4" freshman, and Shayla plays point guard and the wing. Got a lot of speed. She plays hard. Just works really, really hard. The freshmen are getting acclimated too, of playing at the pace that and practicing at the pace that we play. We didn't get her. She wasn't with us this summer, but then came in and she's fit in really, really well. Sloan Mann's a 5'10" freshman, and Sloan's got a chance of being a really good player. If she keeps working really hard, the sky's the limit for her. And she's a really hard worker. She lasts to leave just about every day, and she'll play facing the basket most of the time. If we get a mismatch on her, then she can post up also. But she's a good three-point shooter and can put the ball on the floor and attack the basket. So it's a team I'm very excited about.
Folks that know anything about Lincoln County Lady Falcon basketball in this district, they know that this district just year in, year out produces quality teams, and seniors become college basketball players. This is a really tough district.
Well, it is, and this year as a whole, the district, Columbia doesn't have the team that they had. They've still got two really good players and may have the best player in the district, in the Timmons kid. But Lawrenceburg's going to be really good. All those freshmen that they were playing 2 years ago that took a hammering are all juniors right now, and they're giving out the hammering. They look pretty good this summer. In Shelbyville, Kevin does a really good job over there, so they're going to be good. Tullahoma's got the good point guard, and the McDonald kid, it's about 6'2", 6'3", and stuff. So they're going to be good. Franklin County, Coffee County. Franklin County's got a new coach. Tullahoma's got their coach coming back. Columbia has a new coach. Lawrenceburg's got theirs coming back, and Shelbyville's got theirs coming back. So Coffee, the guy does a really good job over there, and his team's got better as the year went on last year. So I think, but if we take care of business, I think we can compete for the district title, and then go and represent and have a chance of moving on up even into the Murfreesboro areas. There's some really good teams up there. Blackman's coming back as a national champion, and only lost one kid. Already had a kid. They've got two kids on that team. One of them signed with UConn, one of them signed with Tennessee, and Tennessee's looking at the third. So they're pretty good. But we're excited about it, and everything that these kids are just working every day, trying to get to be the best they can.
We talked about this with Coach Tips. Every great head coach has got a great assistant coach on the bench, and you've got a great one on the bench with you this year. Yeah,
I do. Pat Cavender is she's really taking a leadership role this year and stuff, and doing a great job. The girls love her to death, and they make the mistake sometimes of going to her instead of coming to me, and she just rips them and stuff. So that's good. I love to see it and things. But she is really good at, and she's very good at teaching the fundamentals of the game. I give her 20 minutes in practice, every day, and she does a great job of teaching the fundamentals of defense, boxing out, taking care of the ball, all the things that we have to get better at to be able to compete at the level that we want to compete at.
This is going to be a fun Lady Falcon team to watch this year. Make sure you come out. First game's November 11th against Summit High School right here.
Yes, we're looking forward to it. It's 2 weeks from tonight.
Absolutely. So need a big crowd out here. This gym's huge out here, and when it gets packed, it's a big-time home atmosphere for the Lady Falcons and Falcons. Coach, appreciate you joining us. Good luck this year.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, that'll do it for us. Make sure you come see us November 11th.